I wanted to show this, the Ryobi 21 degree 18 volt framing nailer. So this kind of just came out in February. And all the reviews I've seen, it's just people, you know, putting a bunch of nails in a board and seeing how fast those do it. Okay, so I know that. Before I bought this, I wanted to know some more of the specs and stuff, and I couldn't really find a good video. So I figured I'd do one myself. So I want to first off start that this 21 degree framing nailer is like 80% the same as the rigid. So if you're on the rigid battery platform, it's actually honestly probably more like 90%. Really the only difference between this Ryobi one and the rigid one is obviously the battery platform is different and the color is different. But it's honestly the same nail gun if you're on the rigid platform. So first thing is there's no compressor needed, there's no gas cartridges needed or anything like that. There is one kind of little caveat is underneath here, there's a little Allen screw and you take this cover off and there's a Schrader valve to fill this air tank up. So the way this works is it uses the air tank as like a cushion or it basically uses it as an accumulator. So every once in a while you have to fill it with air. I looked through the instructions and I couldn't find like an actual spec of at this much time to put air in it. It just said if you notice you're not getting the rebound like you were, then put some air in it. So that's all it is. And I honestly don't think that's that big of a deal because like what are they, the orange ones with the P, I don't know what the brand name is, but you have to buy those gas cartridges. I think that's dumb. And the DeWalt one, you have to wait for the motor. So you shoot a nail and then you have to listen for that to go. So that's kind of really annoying. I honestly don't think that would be good. But this one's great. It's got two selections down here. I have it in bump fire mode or single shot mode. So single sequential, there's no battery on it obviously, is you have to push and then you pull and it shoots one nail. As our bump fire mode, you can hold the trigger and you can just go along like a regular pneumatic nailer. So then this is what's really cool is the battery compartment, and the rigid one's the same way. It's obviously just a different battery style, but it still has the same setup where it's the shock absorber. So the battery terminals are separated. So the battery will move around without moving the tool around. So it's kind of like a little shock absorber because this thing honestly has a ton of power. So it moves around. There is a belt clip. I just didn't put it on. You could put it, I thought you could put it on both sides, but I guess you can't. It only goes right here. I just didn't put it on because I didn't think I need it. But it does have the rafter hook, which I've already used a whole bunch of times, which is really, really cool. And then it takes 2 inch to 3.5 inch nails, 21 degree, obviously. And then it'll take the ring shanks or the smooth coats. If I can get these out. So these just happen to be the ring shanks in 2 inch. It will take the smooth ones, which I have those in 3 inch. And then one thing so Ryobi does not make an extended magazine for it, but rigid does. And there was a video that I saw on YouTube where a guy bought the rigid one and put it on this Ryobi one, and it will work. They're honestly the same nail gun minus the battery platform and the color. So then another cool feature that I liked about it is it's got this it's like a plastic guard to prevent from digging into the wood, and then it just pops right off. It's supposed to pop right off. There we go. It pops right off, and then if you're doing like rough framing and you don't really care, then you can use that. But I've been using this because I've been doing some, not necessarily finished work, but stuff that I don't really want to see this big gnarly end here. And then you can adjust here the depth of fire. But what I've noticed is this one, I haven't had any issues right out of the box where it fires and the nails seem to be perfect. As where my little 18 volt Ryobi brad nailer, I had to adjust it because it wasn't sinking the nails good enough. But this one seemed to be adjusted perfectly. So these right now they're $3.29 at Home Depot, but they're on sale for $2.99 right now, which I think it's kind of like a permanent sale. I haven't seen them at full price. This is the brushless version. And then if you do have a jam, you're gonna have to take a couple of bolts out here, a couple Allen hex bolts out just to get, but I haven't noticed any issues with the jamming yet. It is fairly heavy, honestly. I mean, it's a framing nailer, 21 degree. It's pretty gnarly, but it's not too much to handle. It's got a lot of recoil. You know what? I'll do a video. I'll shoot some nails and I'll show you. But they also make a 30 degree, which I think is the same specs. It's just obviously 30 degree. So that's just a quick view here of the Ryobi 18 volt, 21 degree air, what do they call these? Airstrike. I just saw it. Airstrike nail gun. Two different, like the batteries are interchangeable, but the HP, the high performance brushless batteries have these two extra little tangs that the regular batteries don't have. So you can use a regular battery on an HP tool and you can use an HP battery on a regular tool. It just gives it a little bit extra power, I guess, on the HP. So they recommend a 4 amp hour HP. I found these on Home Depot's website. It was two 6 amp hour HP batteries. So let me set this up here and I'll shoot some nails and show you how much recoil it's got. So the nails load just like any other framing nailer. So I just got these ones. These are the 2-inch full ring shanks. That's just what I had left over. But I always do it without the battery just in case. So then they go in and then you just grab the little thing. Oops, man, I swear I've done this before. It's just because it's small. They go in, you just grab the little thing and it locks. And then I put the battery on. So then I'll show you both ways. So right now we have it in bump fire mode. So it's just a piece of scrap wood that I used to hold the door open. So let me just show you. So pull the trigger, and it fires. Or you can do a couple that way too. So pull the trigger, see, and then flip it single sequential. So then you have to, it's got quite a bit of power. So check this out if you're looking for one of these nailers. The rigid one's basically the same. It just has the rigid battery and it's not Ryobi, what is that, yellow green? It's the rigid orange.